Welcome back. You're tuned into Bazaar Morning Call. Well, we run you through all the top stocks you need to track, but you need to keep an eye out on the Godrej group of stocks as well. I recall Nisha had given us a heads up that there could possibly be some kind of an agreement and some kind of corporate development on that front. Well, that's been announced, Nisha. So fill us in with more details.
Thanks for that, Nigel. Yes, it's been 5-year-long drawn process of negotiation and finally an amicable settlement in one of India's largest, oldest conglomerates that we know of, and that has separated amicably between the two family factions. Now, the two factions of the Godrej group that we are talking about that have been formed with this family settlement is GEG as well as GIG. GEG will be led by Jamshed Godrej and family, and GIG by Adi and Nadir Godrej families. Now, Jamshed Godrej family will own Godrej and Boyce as a bulk of the value coming in the company, which owns the Vikhroli land, which is going to be creating the bulk of the value there. When it comes to Adi and Nadir Godrej's faction, Firoz Shah Godrej will be taking over from Nadir Godrej when he retires in 2026, and they'll be holding and controlling most of the listed companies of the group. Now, when we talk about some of the disputes that arose and have been settled, there have been land, brand, as well as the valuation. In brand, both the factions will be able to use the brand since it's a family name. They have stated Godrej Properties will continue to retain the MOU with Godrej and Boyce when it comes to the development rights or ROFR on the Vikhroli land development. Now, sources with direct knowledge have shared additional information with us which have not been announced. $20 billion is the total deal size. That is the estimated valuation or enterprise value of the owner's stake in the group on the whole, which has been agreed upon as part of the settlement. Godrej Properties retains the Vikhroli land MOU rights with Godrej and Boyce, but sources do indicate that there have been added obligations on Godrej Properties on using this rights, which needs to be seen in the fine print. GEG, that is Jamshed Godrej faction, is likely to also transition into a new logo, even though the Godrej brand can be used by both, but a differentiation in the logo in 1 year's time is required. And finally, a lot of share transfer, inter-se transfer of shares are likely to happen, with a lot of cross-holding of the other faction with unlisted companies holding in the listed companies, and that could be seen on the exchanges. In fact, some bit of that has already been actioned, where Adi and Nadir Godrej have launched an offer for 26% stake in Aztec Life Sciences, which they hold indirectly through Godrej Industries. So all in all, a lot of negotiations over 5 years. Sources do indicate the fatigue factor also drove to a conclusion and harmonious conclusion in this settlement. And some of the key advisors like Uday Kotak, Cyril Shroff, Zia Modi and Nimesh Kampani played a very meaningful role in bringing together and building the consensus between the families.
All right, Nisha, thank you very much for that neat explainer. And I think what you said right at the end is also really, really important, that this was not bitter, it was not acrimonious, very clean separation and settlement. Perhaps the listed entities, all of which are under the Godrej Industries group, Nadir Godrej and Adi Godrej. Perhaps that's one positive that they'll take away from. But yeah, of course, the land has completely clean, in a very clean cut away, has gone to Godrej and Boyce, unlisted. So let's see how that plays out.